It was at the height of the Cold War that the deal was struck. In 1980, the aging Leonid Brezhnev signed a treaty of cooperation and friendship with the then Syrian president. It was a masterstroke of Soviet strategy that immediately turned the Soviet Union and later Russia into a major player in that tinderbox of the Middle East, where the Soviets have been selling weapons to Syria since the 1973 war, 40 years ago. So what does Russia get from the deal today? It has access to a naval maintenance and supply base at the Syrian port of Tartus, Russia's only military base outside the former Soviet Union. Lucrative arms sales. 10% of all weapons exported by Russia go to Syria. Net worth $1.5 billion a year. And lastly, unparalleled access to Syria's military and security apparatus. Little surprise in the UN Security Council that Russia over the last 2 years has consistently voted down resolutions calling for sanctions on Syria. But one voice has remained silent. Vladimir Putin, in a calculated display of indifference to the threat of US intervention in Syria, was 6,000 kilometers from the Kremlin on Thursday, inspecting flood defenses in the east.
I don't think that Putin has something to say just now. To come up and to say that this attack will be wrong and a mistake and a crime and don't do it, while I think everybody knows that it will happen anyway. It doesn't make any sense to Putin. I'm sure he will appear after the strike and he will strongly condemn.
As for the Russian people, a poll on Wednesday revealed that 39% had never even heard of the war.
At the moment, I am occupied with other things. I don't follow the news.
They once invaded Iraq, and then it turned out there were no chemical weapons. It's the same story now. They'll use this as an excuse to launch an attack.
What's most important for the Kremlin is not to be seen by the people as bending to US pressure and maintaining its role as the protector of Syria. And to that end, 2 Russian warships were deployed to the eastern Mediterranean on Thursday as tensions continue to rise. A reminder to US naval forces gathering in the area that this is not solely an American pond. So the one man, Vladimir Putin, who's got enough clout with President Assad to encourage him to go to the negotiating tables after any strikes on his country, remains fundamentally opposed to the military action that could bring about these new talks in the first place. Peter Sharpe, Al Jazeera in Moscow.